So for the first question here, okay, so I took the 2028 plus 9 hours and 10 minutes, okay, and minus 24 off from it. And I discovered that it arrived on the next day at 5:38 a.m. So the distance has been given and the time is in the format of 9 hours and 10 minutes. For you to find the average speed, all you need to do is to take the distance divided by the time. However, you're required to convert the 10 minutes into hour format by taking 10 divided by 60. Then you get your final results as 92.7 kilometers per hour. For part B, number 1, okay, so I took 160 times 255 plus 330 times 190 plus 150 times 180. Divide by the total passenger, which is 640. You will get your final results as 203.91, and after a conversion to 3 significant figures, you will get your results as 204. So for the next question here, as per usual, I find the total ratio by taking 4 plus 3 plus 1, which is 8. And show that the numbers of women on the train is 240. The total has been given, which is 640 here. Multiply by 3, divide by 8. You will get the results as 240. As for the next part, okay, 240 is an increase of 60%. Hence, the original amount of women times 160% will get you 240. Hence, originally is only 150 women. The next part here, calculate the numbers of seconds the train took to pass the station completely. So key things here is you are required to take the length of the train and also the station length. Add them both up, divide by the speed that was given to us. However, do take note that the speed given is in kilometers per hour format. Hence, you are required to convert it into meter per second format. So you can see I took the 180 times 1000 divided by 60 times 60. My final results, 11 seconds. The next question here, okay, to identify angle CAD. Okay, first thing that I did was to use sine rule. Okay, so I took sine CAD over DC equals to sine ADC over AC. After the conversion and calculation, I gotten my angle CAD as 56.1. With that being said, I now identified that my angle DCA is actually 28.9 by taking 180 minus 95 minus 56.1. Okay, so moving on, I'm trying to identify distance of BC using the cosine rule, since we already have two sides and one angle. Okay, filling up the blanks and everything. After the calculation, you get your results as 8.93. Question C, bearing question. Find the bearing of B from A. So if we're taking 40 plus 56 plus 30, you will get your results as 126.1 whereby A from B, this one here will result in 180 plus 126.1. Reason being, from the point north, okay, I point down to south, this will be 180 degree already, and by using the alternate angle, you will notice that the rest of it will be 126.1. Hence the total here 306.1. As for you to calculate angle BCD, this part here we are required to identify angle ACB first. Okay, to identify angle ACB, I use this sine rule. Okay, after the conversion, you get it as 72.1. However, this 72.1 doesn't qualify as a obtuse. Hence, you're required to take 180 minus 72.1 and you get the results as 107.9. Add this with the information we gotten earlier, which is angle DCA is 28.9. You will get a final result as 137 after correcting it to 3 significant figures. As for the next part here, draw the translation of P by the vector of 5, 3. So I label a P image over there to illustrate the question. As for part B, draw a reflection of P with the line x equals to 6. This one will be a reflection and I label it over there as a P double image. As for the part 2 of it, to illustrate it in matrix 2 times 2 format, this one, it will be 0, -1, 1, 0. As for question 4, part A, find the median and the mode. So the total frequency here is actually 20. 20 plus 1 divided by 2, you will get the results as 10.58. So at the 10.5 frequency, okay, it will actually fall under the point between 3 and 1. Hence, you're required to take 3 plus 1 divided by 2, you will get the median as 2 marks. As for the mode, this one we'll be looking at the one with highest frequency count, and among those who have high frequency count, it will be 0.3. Okay, so for the next part, keyword here is pie chart, which is a circle with a 360 degree. Hence, 3 divided by 20 times 360, you will get your results as 54 degrees. As for section B of this, first thing you need to do to identify the mean is to first find their midpoint. So the respective midpoint will actually be 175, 185 and 195. Multiply it with its respective frequency of 5, 12 and 3. Divide the answer by 20, you will get the final result as 184. As for question 5, calculate the volume of liquid inside the cylinder. Hence, first calculate the volume of it. Pi times 8 squared times 6 minus the 2 spheres inside the cylinder. Okay, so sphere formula has been given over there. Okay, 4 over 3 times pi times 3 cubed. Remember to multiply it by 2 because there's 2 of them. And your final results will get you 312 pi, which translates into 980. Convert this into liters. So do take note that 1 liters is actually 1000 cm cubed. So you take 980 divided by 1000, you will get your results as 0.98. As for next part, okay, I first multiply the 980 with 1.22, then divide it by 1000 to convert it back into kilogram. So your final results will actually be 1.2 kg. As for the last part, the spheres are removed from the cylinder. Calculate the new height of the liquid. So pi times r squared times h equals to 312 pi. So how did I get this 312 pi? This is actually from the previous part where the volume of the water inside the cylinder. Okay, the r will actually remains because the cylinder shape remains unchanged. However, the height will actually decrease. So you are required to find the height here. After the conversion, you will get your final results as 4.88. Over at question 10, okay, so calculate the numbers of passengers who are on holiday. So over here, inside the holiday, we have 150 and 30. So the total here, 180. Calculate those who hire a car but not on holiday. This one will fall under the C only category. Your results should be 20. As for next part, as illustrated over there, they are referring to those that I'm shaded off. So we are required to take 30 plus 150 plus 40 will get you 220. For section C, where they incorporate probability into it. So first, find the probability that this passenger hires a car. So among those who hire a car, it will actually be 170 over 240. So after the simplest form calculation, you will get 17 over 24. As for the next one, is on a holiday and hires a car. Okay, this one will actually be 150 in between them. So 150 divided by 240, you will get 5 over 8. As for section D, 2 of the passengers are chosen at random. Find the probability that they are both on holiday. So since this question is surrounding human being, okay, so you're required to take note that after you selected one of them, the numerator and denominator will both decrease by 1. So what do we have here? So they ask for both that's on holiday. So 180 divided by 240 times 179 over 239. So your final results will actually be 0.5617. As for next one, there's 2 scenarios here. Okay, one is on holiday, the other one is not. Followed by the first passenger is not on holiday. The next one is on holiday. So fill up the respective scenario. You will get 180 divided by 240 multiply with 60 divided by 239. Add it up with 60 divided by 240 multiply with 180 divided by 239. So your final results 0.3766. As for the last part, both highest a car, it will be 150 divided by 180 multiplied with 149 over 179. So after the calculation, you will get your results as 0.6937. As for the next part, just fill up the x equals to 0, 3.5 and 4 into the formula given at the top, where function x equals to 2 to the power of x. You will get the respective results as 1, 11.3 and 16. You then plot down the coordinates indicated in the table, and it should look something like this curve over here. Okay, so using a graph to solve the equation where 2 to the power of x equals to 5. So when your fx is 5, okay, trace it back. When y equals to 5, you will get your results as 2.3. Whereas for the next one, they are asking you to draw a line with y equals to 3x. Hence you can see I actually draw down a box over there, fill up random x variables, and I get the respective y results. At least you need 2 coordinates to draw down this line, and you find their intersection will actually be 0.425 and 3.325. As for the last part, question E, draw down a point where it will form a gradient of 3. Okay, so I just roughly estimate, okay, plotted it down and run the manual calculation. So my gradient turned out to be 3.03030303. So at this particular results, the coordinates of it will actually be 2.3 and 5. Question 8 here. So first thing to do is to identify angle U. Okay, angle U here is actually a angle from the same segment where angle CAB equals to CDB. Okay, so I first identify angle CDB as 180 minus 88 minus 68. You get the results as 24. As for V over there, this one will actually be using cyclic quadrilateral, where we're focusing at the quadrilateral CADE. So V plus 88 will actually be 180. So by running a manual calculation, you will get V as 92. As for the last one, angle at the circumference is actually half the angle value from the center. You will notice that W is actually 2V. So you take 92, multiply it by 2, you will get 184. As for the next part, it was given and hinted by the question that Px equals to 3Sx. So this 3 here will act as a scale factor. So for you to identify the triangle area PQX, simply takes 1.2 times 3 to the power of 2 because of area. Hence you will get a result of 10.8. As for section C, calculate the value of x. This one here, okay, first thing, GO is a radius and FGH is a tangent line. So your 4x plus x will actually be 90. Hence x value will be 90 divided by 5, which is 18. For next one, the sine of angle JKG. So this one here will actually be 72 because angle from the same segment. So it is equivalent to JIG. Okay, how did I identify JIG? It's because using the concept of angle from the diameter, GI, which hinted us that GJI is actually a 90 degree and X is 18. So you take 180 minus 90 minus 18, you will get 72. As for the last part, calculate the angle GJK. This one will actually be 180 minus 3x minus 72. You will get your results as 54. Question 9, function question. Okay, first I substituted x equals to 2 into functions f x position. You will get the results as -3. Hence, this -3 will then be substituted into functions g x position, and your final results will be -1/3. As for next part, substitute -2 into function h x position. You will get -8 plus 1, which translates into -7. As for section B, gx is actually 1/x. Substitute this 1/x into function f x position. You will get 1 minus 2 bracket 1/x. Your answer will actually be 1 minus 2/x. I then make their denominator the same, hence you will get the results of x minus 2/x. As for section C, pretty straightforward. This one, I have a 3-step formula. Okay, first one is to change the hx into y. So we now have y equals to x cubed plus 1. Then step 2 here, swap x and y. You now have x equals to y cubed plus 1. Step 3 is to rearrange and find your new y. The new y here will actually be the inverse of function h. So after the conversion, you will get h inverse equals to cube root of x minus 1. As for section D, okay, this one is actually the syllabus that has just been added back in. Okay, so I listed down the function f, g, and h. I set out random points and I identify which graph of it is the most relevant one. Okay, so from the first part, I noticed that x cubed plus 1 will have a coordinates of 1, 2, 2, 9, and -1, 0. I trace it back and only one graph here that fulfill the requirement. It will be function graph D. For the next one, function f equals to 1 minus 2x. So when x equals to 0, y will be 1. When x equals to 1/2, y will be 0. So this one, only graph A fulfill the requirement. For the last part, gx equals to 1/x. This one will actually be function graph f. Question E, repeat the same 3 steps that we showed earlier. You will know that 5 root of x plus 3 equals to 2. To get rid of the 5 root over there, I actually multiply power of 5 into 2, and you will get the results of x plus 3 equals to 2 to the power of 5. So x equals to 29 after the calculation. As for the next part, question H. Based on the information given, you will know that 12x plus 7 bracket x plus 1 equals to 31.7. So after I run the rearrangement and calculation, my x will actually be 1.3. Over at section B, okay, 36 divided by y, this one you will get the numbers of small bottles. Okay, and for the other one, minus 36 over y plus 1, this one will get the large bottles amount. And the difference, as indicated by the question, it is 25. So I rearranged them and I managed to prove that the equation of it is actually 25y squared plus 25y minus 36. Okay, I then factorized them and I gotten 5y minus 4 and 5y plus 9. The respective y results will actually be 0.8 and negative 1.8. So you're required to take the positive one, which is 0.8, because there's no negative in terms of measuring unit price. So calculate this cost of one small bottle and a large one. So you take 0.8 plus 0.8 plus 1. Final results 2.6. Question 11. Okay, so this is sequence question for the numbers of dot. Okay, as you can see, for the first part, it is having a constant difference, okay, which is plus 8. So this qualifies as a arithmetic sequence. So for the fourth and fifth one, it will actually be 33 and 41. As for the next one, this one I can show that it is actually square. Okay, so n square times pi will be the n term of this, and the following fourth term will be 16 pi, 25 pi, followed by 2 pi, 6 pi, 12 pi, which means the next one will be plus 8, you will get 20 pi, and plus 10, you will get 30 pi. So write down in terms of n the numbers of dot. This one I will be incorporating the common difference of plus 8, and I find the zero term. For you to identify the zero term, simply takes the first term, which is 9 minus by 8, so you will get 1. So combine these two information, you will get 1 plus 8n as the n term. As for the next part, find numbers of dot when diagram n is 1097. So 1 plus 8n equals to 1097. Run the manual calculation, you will get the n term as 137. For diagram n, and as mentioned earlier, this one will be n squared times pi, and for 3n it will be 9n squared pi. Find in terms of n and pi the total length of the circumference of the circles. Okay, so this one will actually be n squared plus n multiplied by pi. Okay, so I actually didn't go through any formula or so for this because there's no clear indication on it is a arithmetic or geometric. So you are required to compare the results and do try and error to get the final results of this. So this is pretty much it for this paper. I hope you find it helpful. If you have friends that are struggling, feel free to share this paper to them, and I wish you all the best in your upcoming examination. Thank you.